A very good morning to all my dear students. I hope that you all are fit and fine at home and you all have enjoyed your vacations. Okay, so now is the time to study. So let's get started where we have left it before vacations. Okay, so one topic of the first chapter, evolution of computer, was left, which is types of computers. So first I will explain this topic and then we will take a quick review what we have discussed in this chapter, and then we will do the exercise and question answer part of this chapter. Okay. So let's get started. Types of computers. As you all knows that computer is very important part of our lives, especially nowadays. It's playing a very important role in our lives. So there are different types of computers which are used for different purposes, like starting from our home to the scientific labs. Computers are used in space research and schools, homes, means starting from the bottom to top. In almost each and every field, computers are used very broadly. The field of computer is really very vast. So here is not a single type of computer which is being used in all the fields. There are different types of computers which are used in different fields. So first is microcomputer, second is mini computer, third is mainframe, and last is supercomputer. Here we are starting from the bottom. Okay, and we will go to the top category of computer. So at bottom, microcomputers comes. So what is a microcomputer? Actually, these are the general purpose computers which we all uses in our day-to-day lives at our homes and schools and in offices also. These are also called personal computers. Okay, and these are categorized in three types. First is desktop computers, second is laptop, and third is tablet. I know that you all knows about all these types because we have discussed in previous classes also, and as you all are using, so you knows about all these three types, but we will discuss again. So what is a desktop computer? It's a general purpose computer which is designed for the general uses, like for making documents, making reports, for calculation purpose, for the designing purpose, for any for playing any game, watching movies, and doing our regular works, and for taking online classes also, for internet surfing. We uses desktop computers, means all the general tasks we can complete on desktop computers. These are called desktop because these systems are kept on the desk, and it is made up of different units like the CPU, the mouse, keyboard, and printer. All these devices assemble together and form a desktop computer. Next is laptop computers. Actually, if you will see, then you will find that there is a disadvantage with desktop, that they are kept on one place. You can't move these systems from here to there. You can't take them with you. Suppose if you are going for vacation to your grandparents and you want to take your system with you, so you can't take desktop from here to there. But laptops are the computers which are portable, small in size, lighter weight. You can take them from one place to another, and the work of laptop is same as desktop. Whatever you do on desktop, you can do on laptops also. Okay, the CPU chip is inserted inside the laptop, and there is a inbuilt keyboard on one side of the laptop, and in place of mouse there is a touchpad which you can use in place of mouse. Okay, normally these comes in 13 to 50 inches size. Next is tablet computers, which are smaller than laptops. They are less lighter in comparison of laptops. They are bigger in size in comparison of smartphones. Okay, if you all have seen the tablets, I hope that many of you have seen the tablets and have worked on also. So normally these are used for reading and for watching movies, for internet surfing. Okay. And these tablets have the touch sensitive screen. One important part is that tablets comes with touch sensitive screen. You can use your fingers for scrolling, for selecting and doing small things. Next category is mini computer. Mini computers are more capable in comparison of microcomputer. One important thing between these two is that microcomputers are single user system, but mini computers are multi-user system. Multi-user users means me and you, the person who is using the system is the user. So only one user can work on microcomputer at a time, but in mini computer more than 4 to 200 users can work simultaneously, means at the same time multiple users can work. The processing speed of the system is higher in comparison of the microcomputers. Okay, and obviously these are costlier because the configuration is tough. It has more memory size. It can store more information and data. Okay, normally in banks and universities these systems are used, means the organizations which are bigger in size in comparison of our schools and homes. Next is mainframe computers, which comes on the next level in hierarchy. So these computers are more powerful than mini computers. They are bigger in size. If we will compare, you can look at these pictures. So the mini computers are big in size in comparison of microcomputers, and mainframe computers are more bigger in size in comparison of mini computers. Okay, and yes, they are more powerful, they are more expensive. Especially these systems are designed to handle a very huge amount of data, because normally these are used where in any organization if there is any network. Okay, like you can see the bank system. Okay, so there is a main office of any bank in a city, and many branches are spread over a city, means there might be 4 or 5 branches of particular bank and one main office will be there. So it's a kind of network. So there they uses the mainframe computers because they need to handle a huge amount of information which comes from different branches. Okay, so in bank, in universities and many laboratories, scientific laboratories, and for railway reservation, airline reservation, these mainframe computers are used. Next, and the top of the hierarchy, supercomputers. Okay, as the name indicating, super means these are the most powerful computers with huge processing speed, with huge power. Okay, you can look at these pictures. These are the pictures of supercomputers. Okay, in India there is a series called Param, which designed supercomputers. Okay, see class, my suggestion is just go through these fact files and know you more. Here they have mentioned very important topics. Okay, so after reading the chapter, just note down these fact files in your notebook. Okay, now we were discussing about the supercomputers. So as I told you, these are most powerful computers in comparison of all that we have discussed, and they have a very high processing speed. And yes, these are most expensive systems. These are not affordable for normal organizations. Like for examples, I can tell you where these systems are used. These systems are used for weather forecasting, in space research, for controlling the satellites. Okay, these supercomputers are used. Some examples of supercomputers are given here in your book also, Cray1, Cray2, Param, and I told you. So all these are types of supercomputers. At the last, here is a recap of this chapter, means main points that we covered in this chapter. Like Charles Babbage, who is considered as the father of computer, and he invented analytical engine in 1833 and difference engine in 1822. Then they are talking about Lady Augusta. She is considered as the first programmer. Then ENIAC, which was the first general purpose electronic computer. It was invented in 1946. Then UNIVAC 1, which was the first computer to handle numeric and text data. Then they are talking about computers are categorized into 4 types, like their speed, their storage, capacity, size and cost. Means these are the bases on which you can categorize the computer. And then the last point, 4 types of computers about which we have just read about. Okay, so first is micro, second mini, third mainframe and last is supercomputer. Okay, so that's all in this chapter. Now we have the exercise portion. Here I have mentioned the answers. Okay, I told you to read the chapter and find the answers of exercise. If you have done, then match your answers with this sheet. Otherwise you can complete it with the help of this sheet I am sharing here. Here I have mentioned true and false and fill in the blank part, and here I have mentioned the matching part, application based question and MCQs. Okay, and question answers I will share later. Okay, so complete your work with the help of this video and go through the chapter again. Okay, that's all for today. Take care of yourselves. Bye.